on
Fast
now,
and
boo. Got the boot, the boot, got the boot, got the boot, the boot, got the boot, got the boot, the boot, got the boot, the boot, got the boot.
And this is the Bro Force Squad podcast, guys. As you may have guessed, we are doing a bro-back review of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Why?
Because the new one is coming out, and the producers said we had to. AKA us.
Myself.
Guys, as you guys know, if you've never heard us, or if you have, we're going to go over it again. We judge all of our movies on five grading criteria, first of which is acting, casting, story plot, rewatchability, best scene, and impact on pop culture. Guys, let's get right into this. Acting, casting. Geiger, just take it, please.
First off, Banner, you were correct. It's Thrive because we're in Tokyo. Anyway, casting. Lucas Black. Remember him? He was the quarterback from Friday Night Lights, and that's it. I think he was a kid actor on Mississippi Burning, I believe it was, with Alec Baldwin. You got Bow Wow in it from Like Mike and a couple of rap videos, and a couple other people that Jeff will touch on. Dude, this cast and acting together conjointly is absolutely dog shit terrible. I found myself drifting asleep watching this movie.
Hi-oh.
Look, guys, I'm just going to say this. When Bow Wow is not the worst actor in your movie, you're doing something wrong.
Fair.
Jeff, do you want to defend this? Because you love this, apparently. You like this movie.
First off, Geiger, let me guess. You was an army brat. Daddy move around all the time. That's why I'm so angry. See, I'm not a total Gaijin. Now, what I just did right there, ladies and gentlemen, was act better than Lucas Black did. Okay? I'll agree. Lucas Black is brutal, but somehow it's endearing to me in this. Everyone's awful. I'm not going to... Brian Tan as DK is really rough, too. But one person who gets out of this movie alive is Sung Kang as Han. Can we at least agree that he does a pretty decent job in this movie?
He was. And the chick did good, too. I don't know if she acted well, but she was hot, so she was fine in it.
Yeah, so Sung Kang gets out of it alive, but overall, my grade for acting and casting is rough. We'll just say that.
Well, that's enough said about that. Let's move on, guys, to the story plot, because this is something that I think is a little bit stronger than the acting and casting. Maybe not a whole lot, but a little bit. I'll start us off. First act is terrible. Yeah. I didn't like it at all. It was really hard. Second one started to come really strong, and then I thought the third act finished pretty well, and obviously it set up for the future movies, which we'll get into once we get to impact on pop culture. But can you guys defend that first act, or really the first half of
No,
the movie?
in the beginning when it's like suburban development drift, like neighborhood coming soon drift, it's pretty weak. But once they actually get to Tokyo, yeah, things really pick up. And one of the things that I think I kind of romanticize about this movie, this is the last one in the franchise, and here in a couple days we'll be up to 8, that did focus on street racing and still had a nice, at least like kind of a character through line through it. So in that sense, I'm kind of like, oh man, I sort of missed the days when it was actually about street racing. The other thing I like is it is pretty simple. Like we always say, like you're never going to be in a Fast and Furious movie and someone's going to be like, can you explain the fucking story to me right now?
Huge twist.
Yeah, it's just about a kid who is not good at acting, but he's a total gaijin, and he uses street racing as a means to sort of cope with some of his social issues. The story's okay. I mean, it's all right.
The story was pretty simple for me, especially in a Fast and Furious movie when you don't have Paul Walker or Vin Diesel starring in it. I know Vin Diesel's in it at the end, but you got to come out firing, man. It was, whenever I was watching the first act, I'm like, is this a Fast and Furious movie? Where's the cars? It's like me buying a porno. I'm like, shouldn't I see some tits and ass here in about an hour? It was terrible. But you guys were right. When it wasn't Tokyo, it started to get bearable for me, at least.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Next scene. Let's go with best scene. Next category, best scene. Tiger, start us off.
I like the scene, and I know you guys are probably going to talk about a lot of the action scenes. And this scene, this movie was very well directed and everything, but when Bow Wow Twinkie finally shows off the Hulk car, I dug that, and how the cars were like a car carousel.
Yeah, it's like a vending machine.
Black Cap is like, is that it? He's like, no, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. First off, I'm like, what machine does that? I've never seen a machine that could carousel cars like that. And then this whole car came out, and then they finally went and street raced. So I'm just like, finally, we're actually gonna get some shit done. That was my favorite scene.
Yeah, mine was actually the scene where Han is teaching Sean how to drift after Sean wrecked his car and has to prepare to race DK. And yes, it's done in montage form, which is always a great way to speed up the story of a movie. But I think what I really liked about it is after you've seen some more of these movies and we'll talk about how Tokyo Drift is sort of retconned into the continuity very well, I actually think, by Justin Lin. But after you know more about Han's character after a few other movies, that scene is even cooler because you realize how Han has the skills that he has and why he sees something in Sean. And I'm not going to sit here and try and act like Tokyo Drift is this great character piece, but that was one of the few moments in this movie that I was like, you know what? I'm not watching some completely ridiculous movie with a kid from West Texas who can't act right now. This is actually about two people becoming friends, and it was just a cool racing montage, which I think is something that this movie, or this franchise, has always known how to do well. Banner, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the final race, actually. You know, at night on the mountain. You got the feeling that this was DK's mountain, and there's a reason why he picked that. And I'm not gonna lie, like you actually almost feel like, hey, he's not gonna win, even though we know he's gonna win. But it was very good, the stakes and how they just kept going on the switchbacks, and they really played into the drifting of it, which you didn't really see. Like, yes, it's in the other two movies previous to this, but they really play hardcore into that. And it's not in a fucking parking garage like the first race.
I gotta point something out though in that scene. It makes no fucking sense that everyone can watch the race on their cell phones. Like,
no, it's not their cell phones. It's on like a Razr phone too.
You're in the technology mecca of the world, Jeff. Yes, it does. Sure, why not?
Well, then how come Nintendo is like the worst system of all of them? Figure it out, Japan. Jesus Christ.
They're always behind the times. All right, guys. Next category is impact on pop culture. Jeff, I know that you're balls deep in these movies. Why don't you lead us off on this one?
Yeah, I am. We're actually in a serious relationship, Tokyo Drift and I. But I mean, I haven't called her in a few days, but it's fine. She knows what the deal is. So this had some interesting effects on pop culture. First off, this is pretty much the North American breakout of Justin Lin. Yes, he did the movie Annapolis, ironically, with Tyrese before this, but this is pretty much what led Justin Lin not only to do the next 3 Fast and Furious movies, but he did season 2 of True Detective, and of course he did the most recent Star Trek movie, and he's been rumored for a lot of DC properties. So this is kind of what put him on the map. And then the other thing is, well, actually I'll let you guys get into what this had to do with the continuity, but for me it's more about Justin Lin, the director of Tokyo Drift. Geiger?
I think this would have been better if it was just a Han origin story, which basically they're trying to make it turn out to be because they're trying to. I mean, Lucas Black hasn't been in any of these movies except for like kind of a scene.
Real quick, Geiger. So Justin Lin actually did a movie in Japan about the character Han that is his origin story called Better Off Tomorrow. It's a Japanese movie that he made, and he liked the character so much that he introduced him in Tokyo Drift. I've never seen it, but that was his first movie. Sorry.
Hope to Christ I don't have to watch that for the pod. Another thing, I don't hate people who say this movie sucks. I hate people who are surprised that this movie sucks, because what were you expecting walking into this thing? In big letters it says Lucas Black. It should have just said the 8th best actor in the Friday Night Lights movie is starring in a Fast and Furious movie where you only get about 4 racing scenes.
But coming soon to NCIS New Orleans, Lucas Black. Lay McGill.
So, the effects on pop culture is actually kind of medium for me, though, because they do connect it very well. Out of a mistake, I feel, but still, this movie was terrible. Banner.
Look, this movie, I think we can all agree this is the worst of the franchise, right?
Except for Jeff, who thinks jointly agree on that, I think.
This is not the worst of the franchise, no.
Wow. Okay.
It's not.
Anyway, it's one of the worst of the franchise, but yet they connected so well to the other ones. We almost forget that, like, this movie happened when you're watching them.
We try, don't we? It's like
I don't know.
Home one night.
It's just a weird. It's so bad, but then all of a sudden kind of springboards this franchise to have, another 5 movies after this? It's weird. You have your worst movie that springboards you to have more movies. Is it supposed to be the opposite?
This was, I think, when you can tell
like
with his cameo at the end, Vin Diesel was like, the movies, the roles ain't coming, so maybe I better come back to the franchise. That's my Vin Diesel. This ain't no 10-second race. I got nothing but time.
This is sad how many lines you know to this.
I know.
I'm going to guess rewatchability for you is really high.
No, I'm not going to lie to the people out there. You can't really rewatch this movie. But yeah, when it's on Spike TV, if my girlfriend's with me, I'll quote Lucas Black for 10 minutes just to piss her off. Does that count? Probably not. So no rewatchability for me. Sorry. Geiger.
Let's just say I illegally pirated this movie a day ago because I didn't think it deserved my money, and I just sent an email to the legally pirated website. Hey, bitch, you owe me $8.99 for watching this fucking movie for an hour and a half. So no, the rewatchability is not that high for me.
The FBI emailed you and said, hey, we saw you pirated that. If you want, you can sue the website that lets you watch it for free.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen this movie twice in my life. Once the first time, and then once because I had to remember what the fuck I was talking about for this pod. Guys, this has been the Bro Force Squad podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Find us on Facebook, Bro Force Squad. 3 words. We have a website, www.broforcesquad.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and then you can subscribe to us on iTunes as well. Leave us a comment and a review. Till next time, we'll check you guys out later.
See, I'm not a total Gaijin.